Episode 1. The Cold War Explained. From allies to enemies. They fought side by side to defeat Adolf Hitler, but only a few short years later, they stood on opposite sides of an invisible battlefield. Two nations once allies now trapped in a 40-year struggle for power, fear, and ideology. Join us as we uncover 5 defining chapters in the Cold War, a struggle that changed history without a single direct battle. 1. The end of World War II. In 1945, the Second World War came to an end. The victors, the United States, Britain, France, and the Soviet Union, celebrated triumph over tyranny. Yet peace did not bring harmony. It brought suspicion. The world's two rising superpowers, Washington and Moscow, no longer needed each other. Now, each feared what the other might become. At the peace conferences, they promised cooperation, but beneath the polite words, mistrust ran deep. Joseph Stalin feared Western betrayal. The West feared Stalin's ambitions. 2. Two ideologies, one planet. The world was no longer divided by oceans or borders, it was divided by ideas. On one side stood capitalism and democracy, led by the United States. On the other, communism and state control, commanded by the Soviet Union. Each believed its system would save humanity. Each saw the other as a threat to the future. 3. Europe divided, the Iron Curtain descends. As Soviet armies liberated Eastern Europe, they never withdrew. Poland, East Germany, Hungary, Romania all fell under Moscow's shadow. In 1946, Winston Churchill warned the world, "An Iron Curtain has descended across the continent. Behind it, censorship, fear, and one-party rule. Beyond it, prosperity, freedom, and anxiety of a different kind." 4. The American response, the Truman Doctrine and Marshall Plan. In 1947, President Harry Truman announced a new policy, the Truman Doctrine, promising to help any nation resisting communism. The following year came the Marshall Plan, a massive effort pouring billions of dollars into rebuilding Western Europe. Where Americans saw generosity, Stalin saw manipulation, a Western plot to buy loyalty and surround the Soviet Union with hostile allies. Europe was no longer one continent. It was two worlds, divided by power and fear. 5. The nuclear shadow emerges. In 1949, the Soviet Union detonated its first atomic bomb. America's monopoly on nuclear power was gone. Humanity now lived under a new kind of terror, two nations, each capable of ending all life on Earth. This uneasy peace was held not by trust, but by the fear of mutual destruction. A fragile balance, a Cold War, fought not with bullets, but with spies, propaganda, and political pressure. Over the next 4 decades, this silent conflict would reach every corner of the world, from the streets of Berlin to the mountains of Korea, from Cuba to outer space. The Cold War was never declared and never truly ended. It was a battle of visions, a fight for the heart and soul of the modern age. Subscribe for Episode 2, The Iron Curtain Explained, the Cold War series, USA vs. USSR, 40 years that changed the world.